Welcome everyone to EFPN, the Exertus Financial Partners Network. We're thrilled to have you join us for an insightful exploration of the latest developments from the world of Exertus. Today's broadcast is brimming with exciting content, spanning company updates to industry insights. So without further delay, let's kickstart this broadcast with our opening segment, EFPN Primetime. Get ready as we share the remarkable progress made, providing you with a first-hand look at how Exertus is advancing towards their goals and leaving a significant mark in the industry. Prepare to be inspired and astounded by the exceptional work taking place at Exertus Financial Partners and within the financial sector. Last week, a number of qualified producers from Exertus embarked on an enriching journey to Cincinnati, Ohio. Their destination, the home offices of Columbus Life and Lafayette Life, where they immersed themselves in the transformative partnership sales program. For 3 days and 2 nights, the attendees were treated to their own suites at the Residence Inn, nestled within the historic Phelps Building. These accommodations served as the perfect backdrop for a unique learning experience. Throughout their stay, Exertus partners had the privilege of engaging with the leadership teams of both Columbus Life and Lafayette Life. They gained invaluable insights into the inner workings of these esteemed companies and absorbed knowledge about effective business development and also sales strategies. The highlight of their visit was an extensive tour of their home office, providing an up-close and also an personal look at the heart of these renowned insurance carriers. Today, we're honored to have some of these Exertus financial partners with us to share their firsthand experiences. We'll begin with the Executive Vice President, Mr. Joe Rivas. Joe, could you give us a glimpse of what unfolded during this partnership sales program?
Hey guys, Exertus Nation, I gotta let you know, we're just so excited to be in here in Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Columbus Life and Lafayette Life. Guys, what we're gonna do today is just to expand our vision and understanding how these carriers can work harder with us together to build our mission of Exertus and the success and the impact we're gonna have all across the nation, everywhere we go. And guys, today the training is gonna be amazing. We're gonna see some great information that's going to help us understand how underwriting works, how we can work together with the reps and everybody here that's just serving us to help our clients out there. So if you guys are really looking to get into building a humongous business, something that's going to be just incredible legacy for you and your family, you got to be here. You got to be watching this. Don't miss the next one, guys. 100%. You got to be here at Columbus Life.
Joe, your insights are greatly appreciated, and I'm certain that those who had the privilege of attending this program will grasp the profound impact of their efforts and now feel even better equipped to serve their clients. Now let's turn our attention to a couple of Exertus partners who had the distinct honor of participating in this program for the very first time. We're eager to hear about their unique experiences.
Hey, what's up? My name is Josiah. I'm here representing Hawaii. And it's been such a blast being here, getting to meet the team. It's my first time being here. It's so cool to meet the Exertus team. They've been super welcoming, and it's been so much fun hanging out with them and meeting CEO in person and all the team in person. And it's been such an amazing time. I've been learning a lot, and I'm super excited to take all of this back home and really run with it and implement all of these new business ideas and even really grow my business. So super excited.
Hi, my name is Sonia Guerrero. I'm a realtor from Las Vegas. Been doing real estate there 22 years. And what I've learned from my trip here is, first of all, I want to thank Exertus for bringing us along. It's just huge information, and I've learned so much that I'm going to take back and implement it, talk to all my clients about how to protect themselves. I mean, the city is beautiful, the hotel they put us up, it's wonderful. It's just the whole experience has been amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough for what you're doing for us and for the community.
As professionals in the industry, it's essential to continuously seek ways to enhance our skills and our capabilities. ensuring we can better serve our clients and foster the development of future leaders in the financial sector. This commitment not only enhances our ability to serve our clients, but also empowers us to nurture the next generation of leaders in the financial sector. It's truly inspiring to see the enthusiasm and determination radiating from people like Austin and even Sonia. Now let's turn our focus to the CEO and President of Exertus Financial Partners, Eric Antonio. Eric, could you provide us with your observations from this event, and can you elaborate further on its significance?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Cincinnati, the home base of Columbus Life and Lafayette Life. We are here to attend this advanced training that they provide to us once a year. And I tell you, you gotta fight for yourself in order for you to come here next year. Because why? The importance of this kind of event will elevate your game. Not only that you would learn a lot, but going home knowing that you will be more confident in trying to help your clients. The event like this is not just an ordinary training. You come here with the knowledge that you will gain, like defined pension benefits. And this is not just the regular defined pension benefits for employees, but particularly for owners. You could save them a lot of money from taxes. Also training on not just the basic illustration, but what is beyond illustration, those kind of training. And let me tell you also, not just the training that you would be excited about, but the accommodation that they provide us. Guys, from the airport to the hotel, the welcome dinner, the welcome reception, the dinner, the closing dinner, and also how we interact from the president, from the senior leadership, and even the different departments. You could really match their faces with the names that you talk to when you follow up your cases. And you know the most exciting part? A majority of the people who participate here are going to go home with policies. They would like to make sure that they know that they are there to back us up in trying to be successful in this business. And then for people who are out there and our partners who are in this industry, it's so important to remember that you need this kind of company providers that will deliver for you. The companies that have the best Comdex rating, they are 96%. And these companies are more than 100 years old. And the good thing about this is our values between Exertus and Lafayette and Columbus Life, man, it's a match in heaven. Because our values, the culture, family atmosphere is always there. So fight for this. I want more producers to be here next year because this is going to be a game changer, not just for your own practice, but for the leadership that we all have, and you would be able to attract to be part of this industry. Next time, fight for this one because it is a training to remember. It's an event that would definitely give you confidence and definitely build your best practice in this industry to the next level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CEO, for your insights, and a special thank you to all the partners who've shared their experiences today. We eagerly anticipate the successes and positive impacts that will result from this program and for both attendees and the individuals that they'll help along the way. Now, coming up next, stay tuned for our segment titled First Take, where we'll delve into the importance of Actuarial Guideline 49 and the concept of going beyond the illustration. But first, we'll take a brief commercial break, so stay tuned. Welcome to First Take, your premier destination for staying informed about the industry. In this segment, we bring you the most current news, insightful perspectives, and thorough examinations of both the trending headlines and the intriguing stories behind the surface. Today, we actually have a special guest, Eric Street, the Director of Sales Support at Columbus Life, who will share his insights into Actuarial Guideline 49 and its role in the financial sector. Eric, could you please give us a brief overview for those who don't know about AG49 or Actuarial Guideline 49 and its significance within the industry?
So I think AG49, the most impactful thing that AG49 did was it's really significant for clients. I think the first round of AG49, if you go all the way back to 2015, you had IUL carriers that were using illustrated rates that they were just kind of pulling out of thin air. So you had carriers that were using numbers like 14% that really didn't have a ton of relevance to their contract. So obviously in that situation, you think about it from an agent standpoint, you want to have an annual review with your client. You're sitting down with them, you're looking at the annual report. And a lot of times what clients will do is they're bringing their issue illustration, right? So you're looking at projected cash values on an illustration, you're looking at annual reports, and things just aren't jiving up. And what the NAIC and the industry found is the issue here is carriers, just like I mentioned before, just pulling illustrated rates out of thin air. And this was very misleading to a client. It was kind of bait and switchy. So that is when the NAIC, the industry, they finally stepped in and they said, we have to find a common way for IUL carriers to illustrate their max illustrated rate. They came up with the benchmark index account, which we're getting into the weeds a little bit here, but it's important for you guys to know. It's every carrier is asked to take their current cap. You look back over the last 25 years, if you had that current cap, what would the average return have been? And that's where we all, including Columbus Life, that's where we get our max illustrated rate from. So it provided some consistency for carriers so that you as the agent know how all of us are getting to these numbers. But for the most part, it really helped clients because now we know where these numbers are coming from, and carriers can't just inflate cash value numbers.
Eric, we appreciate the clear explanation for our viewers. Now, continuing on this topic, could you elaborate on how the revised AG49 affects policy illustrations and their presentations to policyholders? Additionally, we're interested to know how Columbus Life has positioned itself in such a way that required no adaptations under the new regulation.
So we've had several iterations of AG49. We had the first one back in 2015. And then what you found was carriers tried to find loopholes. Every carrier is trying to make their illustrations look better than the next. So that's when you saw the multipliers come out, right? So we're showing a certain illustrated rate, but it's actually much higher rate than what is being shown because these multipliers are being added in. Once again, we're getting into a situation here where we're bait and switching clients, right? The agents don't even understand how the illustrations are working, let alone a client. So AG49A came in and that put a limit on these multipliers. Well, once again, every carrier is looking for the loophole. How can we find a way to show the best piece of paper? We want to have the best illustration in town. What they then did was they started developing these volatility controlled indexes. And there's nothing wrong with volatility controlled indexes. Columbus Life has one. The problem is how they were being developed. And some of them were being developed in a way that once again gave a carrier a way to illustrate much better than other carriers, but it wasn't in the best interest of the client. All of this stuff with AG49 is about being in the best interest of the client. So once again, the NAIC stepped in. They said we have to figure out a way to do away with these inflated volatility controlled indexes. And that's what they did in this last iteration of AG49B. To answer your question specific to Columbus Life, we never did any of the multiplier stuff. So we didn't have to make adjustments for AG49A. As I mentioned, we have a volatility controlled index, but we didn't structure it in a way where we were adding bonuses just so that our illustrations look better. We structured it in a way that when you back test it, it looks really good for a client. It's a nice diversification option, but it doesn't illustrate better than our capped account. We are still compliant with AG49. If you're looking at past historical performance, our JP Morgan account looks great, but it's a diversification strategy. So we've always been compliant with AG49. So as all these carriers rushed here, I think it was May when the last iteration of AG49 dropped, we didn't have anything to do. So our communication to the field was the illustrations that you were working on last week, they were AG49 compliant then, and they will be now. So we didn't have anything to do, which was great for you as a Columbus Life agent representing our products out in the field.
You know, Eric, it's truly impressive to learn that Columbus Life remained unaffected by the new regulation, underscoring the importance of ratings and financial strength. Now, Eric, you frequently delve into the concept of going beyond the illustration, an area you've covered extensively in webinars. Additionally, you often pose the question of whether the client owns the policy or the illustration. Could you please elaborate further on this topic and shed light on its significance?
I think this is very significant, and this is not only with the client's best interests in mind, but you as the agent having your best interests in mind. It's a very simple question. Does your client own the policy or do they own the illustration? All of you know the clients own the policy, but what we're talking about here are the different non-guaranteed elements of the policy and the illustration for that matter, because what carriers are doing right now is they're putting their best foot forward on the illustrations without you as the agent or the client knowing about some of these different levers that they can pull behind the scenes, right? Like things like cost of insurance, expenses. The big one in the industry right now is this idea of linked and unlinked rates. So let's hit on that here for 60 seconds. So what this really refers to is carriers that are treating their IUL products more like an indexed annuity. They're illustrating a certain rate, acting like that rate will be there for the life of the policy when they know in policy year 2 that they are dropping their caps. They're not illustrating that, but they know that they're going to do it. This obviously is not in the best interest of the client. I mean, we talked about bait and switching earlier. That's exactly what's happening here. In my opinion, this is borderline criminal. They know they're changing the rates. They're not illustrating that. And a lot of times you as the agent, you don't know that. So really what we're talking about here in this beyond the illustration stuff is just making sure that you're asking these questions of the carriers that you're working with. Columbus Life doesn't do that. We've had a version of our IUL product since 2007. Those clients that have an in-force policy since 2007 are getting the exact same caps and participation rates as the clients that you're putting in force with Columbus Life today. We are one of only 2 carriers that I'm aware of that are doing this. So back to what I said earlier, just make sure when you're looking at those illustrations, yes, they're going to look really good, right? Cash value numbers look great. The client's age 65, kind of the target age you're looking for, maybe not as good as this illustration over here. Ask your carrier, are you changing your renewal rates on your IUL policies? Because what I don't want to have happen is you sit down with a client for that annual review in year 2, 3, 4, 5. Those cash value numbers look substantially different than their illustration. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to ask you to answer for that. And when you don't have a great answer, and really the answer is the carrier changed their rates on them, that's going to really hurt your reputation within the community, right? So as I mentioned earlier, this is really the whole idea behind this is educating both you and your clients on some of the things that are happening behind the scenes inside the policy.
In an industry where visual representations hold substantial importance, how would you recommend that producers strike a balance between educating clients about policy features and skillfully incorporating illustrations into their conversations? Eric, can you explain how adopting an educational approach enhances client-agent interactions and contributes to long-term client satisfaction and understanding?
I think we may have partially answered this one with the last question, right? It's really helping clients understand kind of the worst case scenario. So what are some of those different levers that a carrier can pull? And I think that some of that stuff needs to be done upfront by you as the agent. You need to understand which product is going to be best to put in front of them. And then once you have an idea of what that's going to be and you're making that presentation, you already know what those levers are going to be. You can speak to the client and say, you know, this illustration here, this is based on projected illustrated rates. We know policy year one, we're not going to get exactly a 6% return, right? It's going to be, it could be 10, it could be 2, it could be 0. The education piece is making sure the client knows that this is a long-term investment, right? This is a financial product that you want to be there when you pass away. You want it to be there when you're ready to retire, because you're going to leverage some of that cash value to help supplement retirement income. So helping them understand that you don't really want to watch this thing like you're watching stocks, right? You're not going to be moving money around every single day like you might with a stock that you own. This is a long-term investment. We'll do our annual returns. We'll talk about performance. We can call the carrier and get an in-force illustration to see how things may have changed in the last couple of years, doing all that. But, you know, your other question was around illustrations in presentations to the client. I think the best thing there is remembering that carriers have kind of a dumbed down version of, most carriers, I should say, have a dumbed down version of the illustration that's kind of, you know, the first 3 or 4 pages, generally speaking, that gives a high level summary. Columbus Life, for instance, we have that with our ADBR report that is in the front of all of our illustrations, right? It's that one that has the pretty tree on it, because illustrations are overwhelming. The average IUL illustration is like 55 pages long. What some of those summary pages do is it gives you the opportunity to pull out specific ages, right? Like, you know, 55, 65, 75, 85. You're looking at those important ages in the policy lifetime. You're seeing cash value numbers with Columbus Life. You're seeing, you know, the 3 different triggers of the ADBR. You're seeing the death benefit number, and you're giving a summary to the client. Now you have the supporting pages behind it if they want to see year by year. But as I mentioned earlier, like, this is just a much more digestible format for the client to look at. Once you have the understanding in place, this is a long-term investment. Let's look at those key years, 55 to 85, to see what those projections are going to look like for you and your policy.
Well, thank you, Eric, for sharing such invaluable insights. We genuinely appreciate your time. Now it's time to transition into an exciting segment where we unveil our most outstanding performers of the week, the top 5 players of the week. These remarkable individuals have surpassed expectations, showcasing unwavering dedication and remarkable success in their endeavors. Let's come together to celebrate their exceptional achievements and draw inspiration from their accomplishments. Alright guys, prepare to witness the highly anticipated unveiling of EFPN's top 5 players of the week. Let's ignite the excitement by starting with our 5th ranking player, Adrelis Martin, who has displayed a remarkable leadership with an impressive 11,986 points in personal production. Now let's shift our focus to the 4th spot, where Tio Ortiz shines brightly with an outstanding 14,747 points in base production. Hats off to Tio and the entire team for their exceptional performance. Get ready to be amazed by our 3rd ranking players, Joe and Blanca Rivas, who leads the leaderboard with an incredible 22,717 points in their personal production. Now that's a power team. Now let's direct our attention to the 2nd spot on the leaderboard, the extraordinary Loida de la Cruz. Loida has truly set a high standard, amassing an astounding 24,150 points in personal production. But brace yourselves, because it's time to reveal our number 1 spot. We proudly present Martha Selly, who has achieved an extraordinary 112,877 points in personal production. Her unwavering dedication and exceptional performance are awe-inspiring. As we draw the curtains on this captivating Monday evening special, we want to express our deep gratitude for your presence in our broadcast. Be sure to mark your calendars for next week, as we have another thrilling live show in store that promises to keep you engaged. On behalf of the entire EFPN team, I'm Noel, and we truly value your ongoing support. Goodbye, everyone, and may the upcoming week be filled with excitement and success. Take care.